to the director of JETRO, Masaki Takahara, who is joining us from Sydney. Hi Takahara-san,
Hi.
how are you?
Hi, good. Thank you very much for having me.
Great. Takahara-san, I wanted to talk to you, for the audience who hasn't had a chance to know who JETRO is, could you explain briefly what JETRO is about, what
Yeah,
it stands for, and how you help?
yeah, yeah. I'm a managing director of JETRO Sydney office, and JETRO stands for Japan External Trade Organization, which is a Japanese government-related organization. It's quite like Australia in Australia.
Mhm.
And we have a lot of activities to promote mutual trade and investment with the rest of the world.
Yep.
And we have like 74 overseas offices in 54 countries, and there is 49 Japanese domestic offices on all the prefectures in Japan. We have a lot of activities, but I'd like to introduce some main activities.
Yeah.
And one, we promote foreign companies' investment into Japan. So we are engaged in promoting Australian companies' investment, foreign direct investment into Japanese market.
Hmm.
And the second, and we promote Japanese exports of agricultural and fishery products and foods to Australian market. And the third, we promote Japanese businesses in overseas market. And last, the fourth is we conduct some researches relating to regulations or market related information in
Yeah.
each country. That's what we do.
And Takahara-san, you had a fantastic YouTube clip that you'd sent us, and we'd like to play that
Oh
for the
yeah,
viewers because I think it really encompasses so much around what's going on in Japan and some of those emerging industries.
yeah.
So we're gonna go
Thank
to
you.
this YouTube clip, and I'll kind of come back and ask you some questions about it.
Yeah, thank you.
Why are world business leaders increasingly investing in Japan? Japan is transforming in three key areas. The world's third largest economy, Japan, keeps growing and boasts further growth potential. Corporate earnings have hit record highs, which allows corporations to invest aggressively to create new market opportunities. For example, regenerative medicine market has become a key growth sector thanks to robust deregulation. The use of robotics is expanding in various fields, boosting productivity. Autonomous driving is quickly becoming a reality with the year 2020 target. The IoT market is also expanding decisively. Japan has always been a leading country for innovation. And it is further accelerating thanks to increasingly active startups and to far-reaching deregulation taking place at every corner of the society. For example, Japan's reviewing period for new drugs has become the shortest in the world. The National Strategic Special Zones system is fostering innovation at the local level. The government is committed to making Japan the most business-friendly country in the world. Japan is a gateway to Asia and is easily accessible from all around the world. Japan is a country with the highest regards for the rule of law and is working to harmonize rules and regulations across borders through multilateral free trade agreements. Japan heartily welcomes foreign professionals who come to Japan to make their dreams come true. In addition, Japan has made strides in simplifying administrative procedures and establishing a unified support environment. Invest in Japan, the land of rising opportunities.
Thanks so much for sending that clip in to us, Takahara-san. It really demonstrates the technology
Thank you.
and from someone who's come from a supply chain and logistics background. We've always looked to Japan as those leaders when it comes to some of the automation, even the warehousing distribution processes. So it's always been a leader in that sense. But some of the things like the IoT, Industry 4.0, but I've even heard things about Society 5.0 and how Japanese companies are working really collaboratively well with the government agencies to use technology to improve community benefits, which is something that sounds really fantastic as well.
Yeah, thank you.
So Takahara, so what are the emerging opportunities and industries for Australian businesses going into Japan, and even Japanese companies who want to work with Australian companies out here in Australia?
We've been trying to promote Australian investment into Japan, but it's really, honestly, it's very hard because Japan is a Japanese-speaking country, not English, and a lot of Australian companies prefer to go to Europe or United States, where they get accustomed to the business rules. But what we've been trying to do is particularly, I think that there are a lot of Australian companies with cutting edge and advanced technologies, mainly in like the healthcare industry. And we have succeeded in bringing many Australian companies into a Japanese market, and particularly in these healthcare industries. And this is a good business opportunity. And also, on the other hand, we promote Japanese investment into Australia. And traditionally, we have a lot of volume of Japanese investment into mining sectors. But recently, we have a lot of Japanese companies getting into like retail, wholesale, or services, fintech. So not only like mining, but also we'd like to promote more Japanese companies getting into like the services sectors. And I think the volume of service sectors in the GDP in Australia is relatively high. It's like quite like Japan or United States. So we think that Australia has a lot of business opportunities for Japanese companies which are engaged in the service sectors.
Yeah, it's a very good point. I think that the technology, the innovation, the R&D lends itself really well to the service-based businesses here in Australia. And I think that there's always been a strong commodity-based relationship with the trade, but that has shifted a lot to service-based opportunities.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I really like about what JETRO offer is that, as you mentioned, Australian companies do have the challenge of language barriers, cultural barriers.
Yeah,
but you have the ability as JETRO to handhold Australian companies who need to go into that market or want to go into the market through office spaces, through translation services, business support services, similar, as you said, to what Austro do for Australian companies in other markets, but JETRO work quite well with that as well.
Yeah.
So,
right. And what do we do? What do we do to promote Australian investment into Japan? Is like, as you said, that we give the service free because we are government-related organization of Japanese government. And if you have a chance, any opportunity to find any Australian companies with the cutting edge and advanced technology getting into a Japanese market, we offer free service to bring to Japanese market. And also we have a free office space in Tokyo or any other main cities in Japan. And also we will support to like actually establish the company in Japanese market. That's what we can offer for free.
Yeah, it's a fantastic support.
Yeah.
I wanted to also ask, Japan's been in the news lately a lot because of the Olympics. Now that has been announced, it's been rescheduled to, I believe, the 23rd of July. It's going to kick off in 2021.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So what do you think that means for
it's
opportunity?
Yeah, it's a really sad news but if it's been canceled, the shock was so big. But what we heard is it's going to be postponed to next year. And so shock is somehow mitigated to some extent. But the 2020 Olympic is a very good opportunity for Japanese companies to introduce Japanese technologies, like mainly smart city related technologies, because we are prepared to show inbound visitors from overseas to Tokyo, and they give them the opportunity to show how Japan has good technology related to a smart city or like a society
Yeah.
5.0 related technologies. So I've heard news that there are some say that this kind of like introduction of like a highly advanced technology to like a Japanese smart city is somehow pushed back
Yeah.
late, will be late. So we are going to lose 1 year period of time to show this kind of Japanese technology to inbound visitors. That's sad thing. So, but
Yeah. Well, I th-
maybe what we are going to have 1 more year to get well prepared to show our good technology to all the inbound visitors from overseas.
Yeah, look, it is disappointing it's been postponed, but I think that it
Yeah,
gives people more opportunity now to really be
yeah,
prepared for the Japanese market, and it's going to be a
I think
really
so.
exciting Olympics because of that technology piece. Thanks so
Yeah,
much, Takahara-san, for joining us. It's
thank you.
always a pleasure to speak with you, and I love the work that JETRO is doing both for Japanese and Australian companies in building those relationships and opportunities.
Thank you very much.